Hello. Yeah, all good. Hi, everyone. What a day. I don't know if you're like me, but I really liked what I saw today. It's awesome, and both on stage and there and in the room. I mean, it's amazing. The attendees were as stellar as the speakers, so it's really good. Okay, I'm not going to bother you for long. We know we've got a massive keynote straight after with Randy and Kevin, So I just want to give you the usual yearly IGDA update, GUR SIG update. We are part of the IGDA indeed. So yeah, it's not going to take very long. It's just to give you a couple of updates of what happened over the year and what's going to happen next year and in the future. So first thing, we still have LinkedIn, of course. We're now at more than that. I don't know, every day we're receiving like 10 more people wanting to join. It's amazing, it's getting bigger. As some of you may already know, the ones who've been here for a while, we don't accept everybody, so we're not one of these groups with like 100,000 people because they click and then they get in. We have some restrictive rules, you know, like people who are in user research, people who are game developers, or students who want to work in games user research after. So it's a pretty big number for people who are really motivated to learn about games user research or to share about games user research. I did a calculation. Last year we had like 88 conversations, quite interesting ones actually, and lots of people contributing, and that's really good. And that's so far, you know, that's the best platform we could find for free to basically, you know, run this kind of conversation without too much moderation on our hands. So yeah, it's good for sharing tips about lots of stuff, announcing conferences. Quick shout out to the Games UX Summit soon. Books and chapters and papers and these kind of things. So one of the big things we did this year as a SIG was increasing the web presence. For the guys who've been here since 2009, I think, when we created the SIG, you've seen the whole progression. But that's something different. Now we've got a window to the world, to anyone that wants to learn about games user research, wants to be involved, which actually looks like a proper website, a proper, you know, designed website. Yeah, so what we've got there, so yeah, for the people who don't know what GUR is and just ended up on the website by mistake, we tell them what is GUR. We tell them a bit more about the SIG as well. One of the big things we wanted this year was to increase the transparency of what we do. So yeah, that's what we've done, and explaining, you know, the different initiatives we've got. If you scroll down, you even see who is on the steering committee, who has been in the past, all this stuff. So making sure that, yeah, it's clear for everyone. What else is there? Yeah, we've got all our resources of pictures and videos from the previous summits. We've got the wiki, which I'm going to talk about again in a couple of seconds. We've got the Mendeley library, which has been around for quite a long time. We've got now 260 papers directly related to games user research, and anyone can go and update and put more there if you have anything more to share. And of course, the link to the games user research SIG LinkedIn group. You know, just in case some people want to get involved in the conversation. And of course, we've got the link to the IGDA, and I've got to thank the IGDA because, to be honest, you know, we wouldn't be able, they're one part of the equation, right? But we wouldn't be able to do what we do today as easily without their support. You know, they're really good for us, and they really help us. So yeah, big shout out to them. Okay. The new things we've put as well is David Sinclair, I don't want to, yeah, Sinclair, sorry, list of studios and where they are in the world and all this stuff. It's something he did on his personal website, I think, a while back, and we asked him if it was okay to put it here. So again, just to show to the world, like where we are, how many of us are there, and all that stuff. So it's pretty good, and Steve Bromley put a nice map to make it look good. So yeah, that's one good thing as well in the resources. Big change from the previous years. We had the jobs were advertised on the LinkedIn group before, and that's always been a bit of a mess over the years. LinkedIn has changed their policy and stuff. By the way, LinkedIn, if you're looking at us, please contact me. And yeah, they're changing all the time. So basically what we've done is, once they are not gated anymore to our community, if someone has a job for a games user researcher in his team, well, you know, he can advertise it. If someone who is not on the LinkedIn because he hasn't heard about it for any reason, then he can go and see these jobs as well. I had numbers somewhere. Yeah, exactly. So far we had, like, since we've put it in place, I don't exactly remember the date, but we had like 30 jobs We've only got, and that's surprising, 38 members who signed up to receive an email every time there is a new job, which might be a good news that there is a lot of jobs in our industry and nobody is looking for a job, so that's good. And on the other side, I think the jobs altogether had like 1,300 views, which is good news for the people putting jobs there. So there are people who are actually looking at your adverts, and I hope you find the right resources. What else? Oh yeah, the mentoring program. So again, that's one big initiative we wanted to put this year, and that was to support, and actually Steve, who's just here, Steve did all the heavy work for that. He wanted to make sure that students, who wanted to get into the industry, not only stop contacting him directly to ask him how do I get a job, but also could get some support. And I'm sure some of you received these emails from students, but get some support to be able to find tips, to find a job, or even to improve their skills, for some of them. So he did that. I think we have 19 mentors so far and 23 mentees who applied to the program. Mine is in the room. I love him. He's very good. If you want to hire him, come and talk to me. What I want to say, yeah, the problem is, the numbers, right? There is only 19 mentors, 23 mentees. So if any of you have a bit of free time, really want to support the young in our industry, and want to give them some tips about how to present their resume, their motivation later, how to do an expert review, open a blog, whatever, just giving them advices about how they could get into our industry. Please come and contact Steve, and he's going to put you up there, and you're going to have your nice picture. You can write whatever you want. Look at what Jordan wrote. Really, you can write whatever you want. Yeah. So anyway, that's awesome. That's actually one of the biggest thing that I think this SC this steering committee has done this year. A couple of quotes, if it can make you want to be mentors. So strengthening relationships with other researchers, because you start contacting other people in other companies, thinking, hey, I've got this guy. He's got this thing for your studio. He really would like to work with you. Blah blah blah. Help with communication skills. These are actually verbatims from real users, real mentors. Helping to describe your methods in a better way, if you're not used to teaching at universities or stuff like that, it's a good thing to practice. And just helping people, it's just in our SIG, for like 8 years, I think now, it's a very altruistic organization. Everybody is volunteer. We're not paid. Nobody is paid to do anything in here. Like even putting that, nobody is paid for doing that. So it's a very nice thing to be able to help the young. So please, if you can, come and be a mentor, help the youngest, and maybe actually you're going to find someone that you're going to want to work with as well. So, or as John put it earlier this morning, maybe you're going to find your next boss, in 10 years there. So and on the mentee side, obviously, it's very good to help to run and analyze, learning how to learn and analyze a test, get feedback and advices in general, and prepared for future job applications, obviously. That's one big thing. The other one, going with the web presence, we didn't stop at just our window to the world with gamesUSResearchSig.org. We also follow the lead, let's face it, from the Games User Research EU Summit, which started last year, but started with a bang. And they've done a very good job. They're doing it again this year, later on in September, if I'm right, yeah? And so the design you see on the right is from Seb Long, and we just stole it. We asked him first, but we just stole it because we thought it was like way more pretty and usable, and basically we try to make them similar. So it's like, this is the same conference, but in 2 different locations. We try to move them apart a bit as well. Now they have 6 months difference between both. So that means there is enough content for speakers to apply, etc. And obviously they are in different locations, so they cater for different needs. Because there was a big lack in Europe. So thank you to the Games User Research EU Summit Committee. Okay, I think I'm done. So roughly, what I want to say is that I'm amazed, right? luckily, I've been around this SIG since it was since the beginning with Bill and Ever and you know, and Janus and all these people. And this year, I really saw a change. Right, there is so much energy into these guys that are part of the steering committee, part of the organization committee, and that's what happens when you've got volunteers that are really motivated and really want to make the community go further. And I'm super happy. You have no idea. I'm really super happy with the way things are going. So I need to thank them. So here you go. Steve Bromley, awesome guy. He contributed to the London Games User Research Summit, and he's done the job board, he's done the mentoring program, all that. Like we haven't finished the term yet. You know, it's crazy. And he's got a full-time job, right? And he's quite successful in it. And he's got a blog and all this stuff. So yeah, I just want to thank him. So if you're looking at us, Steve, here you go. Ben Lewis Evans, the web presence as well. Man, so, okay, he's put together the big one and the big gamesUserResearch.org, but also he's updated everything for the summit every time, every day. We were sending him email, dude, you need to update that speaker, you need to change that, blah, blah. It's been super reactive. I mean, we need to thank him. He's awesome. I love him. The London Games User Research SIG committee, Summit Committee as well. I mean, Seb Long, Karl Steiner, Mirwais Sangin, and there was a fourth guy, I don't remember. Sorry? Oh, yes, Steve, of course. Oh, Karl Steiner said it? Yeah, okay, cool. But yeah, so these guys, they took the summit we are doing here, and they just ran away with it and made it like super good. Like you've done such a good job at marketing it, and it looks awesome. The venue looks awesome. You streamed on the day. The videos were available like 6 minutes after it was finished. It's just like super professional. Thank you very much for what you've done. And obviously, the guys who've been running this event, this doesn't come like easily, right? We've actually been planning this. I remember talking to Ben Medler. Thank you, Ben, for everything you've done today and for convincing your manager as well to give us everything. This is awesome. But yeah, that was a year ago. That was the day after last year's summit. And we were already talking about how we're going to organize this one and what we're going to do. And yeah, look at that, man. Look at that screen. Look at where we are. It's just, it's a volunteer thing, right? That nobody is really paid for doing all these things, and it looks so professional that actually every little bit now comes out like, oh, that's weird. This thing, like before, we didn't have nothing. The first summit, we were 40 people in a meeting room in a hotel. That was crazy. Time is up. I'm talking too much. Here you go. In the future, Seb Long is working on the wiki, improving what it is. We are gonna update the SIG charter. You don't care about that. It's technical stuff, and we need support in 2016 and 17 for the website and for now the 2 summits that we need to run. So that's why we need you. If you know, we can't do that all the time. We need people to come and we need people to take a responsibility and support us in doing what we do. So we need steering committee members, obviously. We need volunteers to run all these events. And yeah, we need summit organizers. This is so much people. I would love to thank them all, but I can't. And please vote for your steering committee and the chair. Every year there is less and less people voting for them. One day you're going to make a mistake and like elect me again. So don't do that, right? So please get your updates from LinkedIn. You can get updated every week just to get a digest of what's happening, and you're going to be aware that there is the voting coming. So please do it. It's important. It's a democracy in a sense. And yeah. So if any of you want to be a volunteer, want to talk to me about what the SIG is doing, how we're doing it, just get in touch. You've got my email address. I'm going to be at the venue later tonight. And that's it. Kevin and Randy, sorry I took